Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about what is the relationship between our thoughts and our feelings. I had a question a couple of weeks ago on the video that I did titled The Nature of Thought, and someone asked, what is the relationship between the way that I feel and the thoughts that I'm thinking? The linking factor between your thoughts and your feelings is meaning. So, who decides what things mean? Are you consciously doing it? Are you subconsciously doing it? The answer is both. Any experience that you have as an adult is going to be filtered through your experiences that you've already had. When you do this, your mind is able to make assumptions about certain outcomes. And when you do this, you're able to make certain actions mean certain things based on your previous experiences. You might not be doing this on a conscious level, but subconsciously, actions in the world around us mean certain things. And these meanings can either both help us, meaning put us further into alignment, into following our bliss, something that makes us happier, or we can make things mean things that maybe they don't really mean. So sometimes the meaning that our subconscious mind or that our mind is putting on top of a certain situation sort of acts as an overlay. So instead of interacting with reality, we're interacting with this overlay that we have. What we make things mean completely changes the way that we interact with and see the world around us. So as an adult, we actually now get to step in and decide if we want to consciously make these things mean what they do. Are we in fact interacting with the actual situation, or are we interacting with what that situation represents and meant for us in the past? Are we actually interacting with the person and connecting with them currently, or are we connecting with a situation that this circumstance represents, thus that's what it means to us, right? It doesn't mean that our interpretation of that situation isn't valid. It just means that we might not be interacting with the same reality as the person that we're in the relationship or situation with. There's nothing inherently wrong with making something mean one thing versus another. It's just important to know that we do make things mean certain things. And ultimately, because we are the ones who create our reality, we can decide what we want to know. There's tons of different ways that we can look at situations. So if you're in a situation, you're having certain thoughts, and then those thoughts are making you feel a certain way, think about what those thoughts mean to you, and that will allow you to see the whole picture. While it's important to understand that we're of course socialized by our families and by all of our previous experiences into making things mean certain things, it's also our responsibility as adults now to continuously reevaluate and redecide, are these my beliefs? Are these beliefs I've adopted from somebody else? Do I still want to have these beliefs? Do I want to make this mean that? Could changing the meaning of something potentially alter the way that I feel? Would that alter my thoughts? Can we work backwards from feeling to meaning to thought? Or can we work forward from thought to meaning to feeling? Meaning, can we alter the way that we feel by examining the things that we're thinking? And we start to see that, like, the thoughts that we're thinking, the feelings that we're having, the meaning that we're ascribing to things, and how we're relating to the world around us are really just like these moving puzzle pieces. And we can start to re-examine them and sort of shift them around, and other pieces start to move. And then next thing you know, the way that we see ourselves in the world starts shifting too. I'm going to give you another personal example of how this works. So how the meaning that you ascribe to the thoughts that you have change the feeling that you have. So let's say that you have two people who are both cigarette smokers, and one of them, every time that they have the thought that they want to smoke a cigarette, it actually makes them very happy. They actually like the fact that they smoke cigarettes. Most of them is on board with this. They might make this thought mean something positive. They're excited about this. You might have somebody else who might think that this thought means that they're addicted, they feel out of control of their life, they feel like something else is controlling them, they're having these urges, right? So two people both having thoughts about wanting a cigarette, one person who is not bothered by this and one person who is bothered by this, both because of what the meaning of that means. That, and you could go into like all other things in regards to somebody smoking a cigarette. So like one person could mean, oh, if I'm addicted and I have no self-control, then that means that the rest of my life is going to be falling apart, and what do I make that mean, and what do I make that mean, right? So sometimes it never just ends with the what does this one thing mean, but what do I make that mean, and then what does that mean, and then what's the worst case scenario of that? And oftentimes you'll find other core beliefs that are even deeper below that. So just about digging into the caves, our emotional caverns. Thank you guys for joining me this week, and I will see you soon. Bye.